saya Siti Noor. Ini kedai keturunan saya. Kita di Kilang Serai. Cik dah jaga kedai ni dah lama lah, daripada 2013. Cik ada 4 generation. Cik is like moyang, nenek, mak, saya. Mula-mula Yot tu great grandmother lah. Datang daripada Indonesia. Indonesia IC lah. Dan datang ke Singapura dan ada ni pengaturan jamu-jamu lah. Dan pass down to my mother. Dan pasal I dah take over, I dah tolong my mother. My mother tak sihat, dan after that I get to know dia punya bahan-bahan ni, and then I baca sendiri what are the punya benefit, and then I apply on myself. Sometimes macam overwork, kita ada muscle ache kan, then I drink kunyit, then it helps to relax. Dulu sebelum nak tahu ni macam kita makan Panadol extra ke Enerex kan, doktor kasih tu relax your muscle kalau you punya muscle kan. But actually kunyit boleh, halia boleh, temu paru boleh. All this are actually same, cuma more to the Indonesian punya herbal. Then since we have this, then people are buying and making on their own. I tell myself, might as well I have lah. I do myself lah. Very easier for you guys. Because once you dah kopek kunyit dia akan jadi kuning. Jadi macam tangan kuning, dagu kuning semua. So you just macam buy ready lah. Macam jauhkan daripada hasil tu lah. So for now kita kat kedai ni kita dalam 13. But actually ada lebih banyak. 13 is the common Singaporean suka ni lah, minum. Jamu maknanya macam akar-akar kayu daripada Indonesia, campur-campur. It doesn't mean just one kunyit. So on its own is kunyit, tapi bila dah buat proses jadi air, is considered jamu. Because it helps on our body. And then macam cekur selalunya orang buat untuk masak gado-gado. Okay, kalau tak ada ni, dia tak jadi macam dia punya fragrance dia. But kalau di blender dengan sesuatu, beras ke, jadi beras kencur, it's considered jamu. All these ingredients come from Indonesia. For now the border is closed kan, tapi Singapore tak ada natural punya ni kan. So what we do is we contact them, we order from them, then they do the packing, and then they will send container over here. Macam import. Anda kena beli jamu juga. Ini jamu kuning. I lebih suka buat pagi at about 3 ataupun 4 pagi. So when I reach the Geylang about 8, lagi masih fresh lagi lah. Of all this 13, 14 barang kan, this is the most basic. Orang yang tak ada penyakit boleh minum, orang yang ada penyakit pun boleh minum. Penyakit as in not those bad lah. Macam let's say kau penyakit sakit, macam let's say for example you overwork, you sakit pinggang ke kan, selalu letak minyak on that day, on that point, then after that dah okay dah. Nanti besoknya kalau you angkat berat lagi, sakit lagi. So this one will help on to loosen up your muscle, and then aturkan your blood circulation. Sometimes you duduk lama-lama kaki you semut-semut. That means your blood circulation macam sempat-sempat. So you minum this one, tu dia akan macam regulate. Biasa produk is kunyit, senang, jadi macam orang boleh beli. Macam halia bara is just like a normal halia. You can just skin off, then you blend. And then you punya blender you boleh cuci. Tapi kunyit, kalau you skin off, the yellow will not come out. Dia tak macam kunyit yang kita masak kat rumah, tak ada. That's too strong. Selalunya I buat ni untuk macam nasi pisang, pupuk, daging semua. Itu macam penat kan. Alamak. Itu dia minum Coca-Cola kasih energy pun macam penat juga kan. So dia orang datang sini minum sekejap, buat kerja. Ada satu special orang tu, dia kerja kat frozen lah. So dia selalu masuk tempat yang all those cold under 4 minus 4 degree kan. Dia punya kesihatan dia macam maksud lah. So dia akan datang sini agak kunyit, campur all the benda-benda yang panas untuk dia ginseng jauh lah, dia baru. So usually it's just a normal kunyit. This is 500, the sujan 100 lah. So kasih orang minum sikit-sikit je. This is raw honey. Dah sikit lah. Dia pernah minum lemak cili padi. Ayam lemak cili padi. Okey. Kasih kunyit tak? Rasa lemak dia, rasa pedas dia, minus pedas dia, minus lemak dia. Manis. Dia manis madu. kunyit, this is stronger. Kalau let's say for example I am very tired kan, I'm tired, then I'm sleepy kan, body aching kan. So I just minum ni, then I can feel the next moment. Kat 7-Eleven ada yang apa power shot booster. Yes, that one is almost the same. Dia punya khasiat dia sama, cuma itu dah proses as in, dah tahu macam preservative semua. Yang ni tak ada, ni just macam buat hari ni, minum hari ni. Raw, asli. Halia bara usually untuk panaskan badan. Selalunya orang yang ada stroke, diorang suka minum air ni. And then arthritis rheumatism, this is kunyit, good for blood circulation, pecahkan darah beku, bagus untuk macam badan bisa-bisa. Sama juga arthritis rheumatism, cancer. Temulawak is almost the same as kunyit. Apa khasiat kunyit adalah temulawak. Temulawak usually untuk orang yang ada masalah, ada cyst, fibroid, thyroid. And then bila dia minum kunyit kan, macam dia lambat dia heal. Kalau dia minum ni, cepat. Sama juga dia punya colour is orange juga. Kunyit putih bagus untuk kanser. You just want to mencegah kanser, you pun boleh minum once in a while. Ada yang orang dah diagnose and then dah ada kanser, dah buang kan. But diorang minum macam untuk diorang punya menjauhkan. So that dia punya cancer cell tak tumbuh balik. Kali ada majakan ni, ada ragi tahu, ragi. Fermented ubi. Dia fermented is actually macam Yakult. Bacteria is bad, but that one is good bacteria because it clean up dia punya stomach. This is my own recipe. Jamu sihat wanita selalunya kalau kita perempuan macam you all, macam you just want to maintain you punya monthly menstruation. Dan sometimes kita punya badan bisa-bisa menstruation pain semua kan. Dan untuk macam ibu-ibu lepas tersalin, all the ingredients are here, about 27 ingredients. Dia ada kunyit, ada temulawak, ada halia bara, all dry, dehydrate and then blend into powder. We have the ingredients, so sometimes macam leceh. Sekarang semua nak senang-senang Ni siap. Dah tu tahu madu, tahu sikit jamu sikit, tahu halia bara sikit, dan just minum. Kalau lagi siap, beli yang dah siap tu, macam all in sachet. Orang yang suka macam old school, they want to taste macam yang dah sachet tu, sometimes dia orang macam the herbal sikit. Ada orang nak herbal dia lebih. Sebab dia orang ada macam dia orang punya high blood cholesterol kan. Dia orang suka rasa lah nak lebih. So dia orang beli yang separated lah. Kalau jamu, is a mix. Chinese pun ada. Sometimes customer datang kan, dia orang macam dia orang dah tinggi, ada cholesterol, dia makan ubat, dan sometimes dia orang masih sakit lagi macam tadi masa tadi kan, sakit lutut kan. So actually dia orang boleh, bukan it doesn't heal naturally lah, dia macam dia orang cuba alternatif jamu. Kalau Indian like to have this kunyit hitam. Dia orang suka minum ni sebab dia orang believe this one will help on the diabetes, stamina, best stamina. And then yang lain-lain dia, yang list dia panjang macam arthritis, rheumatism, cancer. Kita ada regular orang daripada France yang expect kat sini. Diorang ada community diorang ada macam sometimes diorang ada kelas sewing ke, dan diorang ada kelas jamu. There's one expert yang conduct the jamu punya knowledge kan. Then from there, they will find the ingredients. If they feel it hassle to buat sendiri kan, kita boleh siap. A mixture. Some people, dia dah pergi doktor. And then tak macam baik. Lepas tu bila tak makan ubat, dia datang lagi. Then maybe dia orang tanya kawan-kawan dia orang kan, dah cakap ingat tadi ni lah ambil traditional jamu. Kau dah try doktor punya, then sama juga kan, ada satu adik tu dia tumit dia sakit. Dia pijak dan dia rasa macam ada tear gitu. You don't see that's the wound lah, tapi maybe it's the muscle tear kan. Dia pergi doktor kasih dia macam ubat untuk makan, that it makes her sleepy. So then she wants to find an alternative. Dan dia pakai ginger je lah. Doktor, macam mana dia orang dapat macam ubat tu, Diorang nak kena cari dia punya roots dia kan. Ni lah roots dia. So let's say for example minyak panas. Macam mana minyak tu boleh jadi panas? Dia ambil halia bara. Dan diorang buat proses. Diorang dah ambil dia punya minyak dia ke jus ke, dan diorang proses dia, diorang jadi tablet tu. Kalau nak raw punya kan, so ambil yang akar kayu dia. Lepas tu ambil satu-satu. Dan dia minum. Semua nak raw punya lah kan. Nak organik ni kan. You pernah Google pasal Presiden Jokowi? Pasal dia cakap dia minum apa tak, lepas tu dia helps on COVID. Yes. They will come here, they will say, I want to drink something like Jokowi. So they will take temulawak, kunyit, halia bara, dan diorang buat sendiri lah. Kalau dia tak nak buat sendiri, nanti for example dia dah beli first time, then diorang buat sendiri, then they do not know how, and then they will come back, they say, is there any way that you can do for us? It's just drink. Then I will do for them lah. Bila time goes by kan, there definitely ada changes lah. Changes in demand, changes in pricing. Kita try to keep up with the quality lah. Orang pun sekarang macam-macam penyakit, ada sakit, sakit ada kan. So kita pun tak boleh kasih macam yang macam lebih tu. Macam there's one lady just now tu yang dia beli barang-barang tu, dia kata I dah buat portion macam itu, portion tu kan. Ada halia bara. Halia is panas, and then dia berangin, dia macam push out wind, and then kunyit hitam also panas, also berangin, so double shock gitulah. Jadi for her is heaty. Tu heaty sampai pukul pagi dia bangun macam dia rasa panas, macam nak terjun kat swimming pool gitu. Some people cannot take it. Depends on individual. Kita macam that's why I tak nak macam kasih just prepaid. You ask, I will do for you. I cannot do pre. Nanti orang cakap, tak best lah ni, kurang lah halia dia. Nanti masih cakap, tak banyak sangat lah halia dia. So yang senang, kunyit je, base je. I cannot foresee also. But because you guys dah macam dah dapat introduce kan dia punya jamu, and then from there maybe you present on your end kan untuk dia punya classes ke kan, and then people will know, and then dia akan bercabang gitu. Now in Wisma Geylang Serai sama National Library Board, they're having the jamu session online. Pun ada juga. Dia conduct what are the ingredients and what are the benefit, all this macam jamu-jamu. Dia ada dia session dia every fortnight. And then but nowadays jamu I think because of the COVID lah and then people are finding alternative. Then ada orang macam jap-jap pun masih kena COVID kan. So it depends lah. So now a lot of people are doing their own jamu. Campur-campur macam Jokowi punya, that kind of things. So the individual punya choice, more personalised. Correct. Nak buat commercial macam tak best lah, pasal dia dah jadi macam yang 5 minute shop tu. Dia macam sama, dah parallel sama macam dia orang juga kan. As long as kita ada kat sini, that means ada lagi ni lah orang yang sudi beli.
One of my key takeaways from our interview with Madam Noor is that actually to some extent biomedicine is an evolved form of like heritage medicine, because like what Madam Noor has mentioned is that actually when you go back down to the roots of like some of the modern day medication, like you can actually find some of the herbs that are used in like making of jamu that are the root ingredients of the modern day medication. And I guess to some extent this will also make biomedicine an inheritor of heritage medicine.
Before I start my reflection, I just thought that I want to share my dad's little Malay medicine corner that he has in the house. So these are some of the things that he has. So that's the Zam-Zam water. Then these are like some of the oils. Then there's this thing. And then more oils behind. Okay, so why I like to show that also is because during the documentation, right, I think one thing that really stood out to me like when she was doing the jamu was that it was a very personalized thing. So like even though like the base is that jamu itself, but like her own customers can like add in like whatever they want, which means I know it's not as fixed as like biomedicine, which is kind of the same as like what my dad does. So it's like he just mixes like whatever he thinks is good, and then just sprays around the house, or like to give it like a good environment. Yeah, so I just think that it's quite interesting that in this case, how flexible and how adaptable Malay medicine is as compared to the field of biomedicine. And I think it just shows like that each person like has their own set of skills and expertise in relation to this field. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Something I find very interesting about Madam Norhuda's business is that she doesn't just do jamu, she also prepares flower arrangements for weddings. And it just strikes me that she has this huge cultural knowledge of plants in general. So their cultural purpose for weddings, or their practical purpose for maybe fragrances or healing purposes. And what really strikes me is that healing in the sort of traditional cultural sense, healing plants are just a subset of all plants that a culture knows about. And so in a sense, traditional herbology is really just a subset of traditional plant lore. And it's interesting because whenever linguists go out to document cultures, one of the first things that they look out for is how many words do native languages have for all the plants in the region. And in some ways, the more words you have for native plants, the better it correlates with how likely the language is to survive with the future generations, because plants are just so cultural. And that is something that really strikes me about her shop and how I relate it to my own field.
One key takeaway from Noor Huda's interview is actually the diversity and inclusivity that she expressed as she explained the jamu ingredients and the practice of using jamu. So it was interesting to learn that there were actually French expats who were willing to learn and also spread this knowledge through their own sharing sessions with their own community. And we see that her customers did not limit to just Malay customers, but also Chinese and Indian, who respectively purchased jamu, for example, for cooking, for their own medical needs and their own traditions. So if I were to describe jamu and traditional jamu, I would say that it's very inclusive as a practice, because there's this openness in which anyone can actually purchase it and consume it and make use of it. And also there's this freedom to experiment, as individuals would actually cater the respective recipes to their own needs. So some customers would just buy the ingredients respectively and go home and make their own recipe, while some would buy it pre-made from Noor Huda.